Dr. Lisa Harper pressed her face against the cold metal window of the research station. The view was beautiful. The planet below looked like a green and blue marble floating in space. Peaceful farms covered most of the land. Small cities dotted the surface like tiny lights. She had been working on Harmony Base for 2 years now. The station was home to scientists from 12 different alien races. They all worked together to study how different species could live in peace. Lisa was the only human on the station, but she felt at home here. "Lisa, come look at this," called Zek, her closest friend on the station. Zek was a trilarian, a tall blue creature with 4 arms and kind eyes. He worked at a computer screen showing crop data from the planet below. Lisa walked over to him. Her boots made soft sounds on the metal floor. "What did you find?" "The wheat crops are growing faster than we expected," Zek said with excitement. "The new farming method is working. The people down there will have enough food for the whole year." Lisa smiled. This was why she loved working here. They were making life better for billions of people. The planet below was home to farmers from many different alien races. They all worked together to grow food that would feed other worlds. Dr. Keth, a gentle creature that looked like a walking tree, joined them. "The children in the schools are learning well too," he said in his slow, deep voice. "They are studying languages from all our different worlds." Lisa felt proud. Humans had joined the Galactic research group only 50 years ago. Most alien races had been peaceful for thousands of years. They had almost forgotten what war looked like. Humans were still learning how to be peaceful like their new friends. The station was quiet and calm. Scientists worked at their computers. Some were studying plant growth. Others were learning about alien cultures. A few were teaching young aliens about Earth. Lisa went back to her own workstation. She was writing a report about how human farming methods could help alien crops grow better. It was boring work, but important. Every small improvement could feed thousands of people. Then the alarm started. Red lights flashed all over the station. A loud sound filled the air. Lisa had never heard this sound before. All the aliens around her stopped working. They looked scared. "What is happening?" Lisa asked Zek. Before he could answer, Captain Morn's voice came over the speakers. Morn was a Kepler native, a short gray alien who ran the station. His voice sounded frightened. "All staff report to the main room now. This is not a drill." Lisa and her friends hurried to the main room. Other scientists were already there. Everyone looked worried. Captain Morn stood at the front of the room. His gray skin was even paler than usual. "I have bad news," Morn said. His voice shook. "We have detected a large fleet approaching our system. They are not responding to our calls." Dr. Keth raised one of his branch-like arms. "Maybe they are traders? Or other scientists?" Morn shook his head. "The ships are too big. They look like warships. Very big warships." A young trilarian scientist named Fen started crying. "But we are peaceful. We only study plants and teach children. Why would anyone attack us?" Lisa felt cold fear in her stomach. She knew about war from human history. But these aliens had been peaceful for so long, they had almost forgotten that some races still fought. "Can we call for help?" asked Dr. Keth. "I already sent messages to the Galactic Council," Morn said. "But they are far away. It will take days for them to send help." The first explosions came an hour later. Lisa was back at the window when she saw the enemy ships. They were huge, dark metal things that looked like giant insects. They dropped out of space near the planet. Bright flashes came from their sides. "They are shooting at the farms," Zek said. He stood next to Lisa, his blue face full of horror. Down on the planet, Lisa could see fires starting. The pretty farms were burning. The small cities were going dark. The enemy ships moved slowly over the surface, shooting at everything that moved. "Why are they doing this?" Fen asked. She was still crying. Lisa knew why, but she did not want to say it. Some races enjoyed hurting others. Humans had learned this lesson long ago on Earth. But these peaceful aliens had never learned to protect themselves. More enemy ships appeared. These ones were smaller and faster. They flew toward Harmony Base. Lisa could see weapons on their sides. "Everyone to the safe rooms," Captain Morn ordered. But Lisa knew the safe rooms would not help much. This station was built for research, not war. The first attack on the station came fast. The whole building shook. Lights went out and came back on. Lisa heard metal breaking somewhere in the walls. She ran to the communication room. If they were going to die, maybe she could warn someone. Maybe someone could save the people on the planet below. The communication system was damaged, but still working. Lisa's fingers moved over the controls. She had an idea, but she was not sure if it would work. "Lisa, what are you doing?" Zek asked. He had followed her. "Sending a message," she said. "The Galactic Council is too far away, but maybe someone else can help." She typed in the code for human space. Earth was closer than the Council worlds, but humans were still new to galactic politics. They might not want to get involved in a war. Another explosion shook the station. This one was closer. Lisa heard aliens screaming in other rooms. She started recording her message. "This is Dr. Lisa Harper at Harmony Base in the Kepler system. We are under attack by unknown warships. They are killing civilians on the planet below. Millions of peaceful people are dying. We need help now." The station shook again. The lights went out for several seconds. When they came back, Lisa could smell smoke. "Please," she said into the microphone. "These people never hurt anyone. They just want to grow food and teach their children. If anyone can hear this, please help us." She sent the message toward human space. Then she sent it again. And again. Zek grabbed her arm. "Lisa, we have to go to the safe rooms." But Lisa kept sending the message. She changed it to an emergency signal that would repeat forever. Any human ship that came near would hear it. "I know humans," she told Zek. "If they hear this, they will come." "But humans are so far away," Zek said, "and there are not very many human ships." Lisa looked at her alien friend. He was kind and smart, but he did not understand humans very well. None of the aliens did. They thought humans were just another peaceful race learning to get along with others. They did not know about human history. They did not know about all the wars on Earth. They did not know that humans had spent thousands of years learning how to fight. They did not know that humans became most dangerous when protecting innocent people. "Trust me," Lisa said. "Humans will come, and when they do, these attackers will be sorry they ever came here." Another explosion, much closer this time. The communication room filled with smoke. Lisa and Zek ran toward the safe rooms, but Lisa was not really scared anymore. She had sent the message. Now she just had to stay alive long enough for humans to receive it. Somewhere in space, her message was traveling toward human worlds. It carried with it the cries of innocent people under attack. Soon, humans would hear those cries, and when they did, they would answer with fury. Captain Jake Morrison was drinking coffee on the bridge of his patrol ship when the message came in. He was 3 days out from Earth, running a routine check on shipping lanes near the outer colonies. It was boring work, but someone had to do. The communication officer, Lieutenant Sam Davis, looked up from his console. His face was serious. "Captain, we are getting an emergency signal. It sounds bad." Jake set down his coffee cup. In 30 years of military service, he had learned to trust that tone in his officers' voices. "Put it on speakers." Dr. Lisa Harper's voice filled the bridge. She sounded scared but determined. "This is Dr. Lisa Harper at Harmony Base in the Kepler system. We are under attack by unknown warships. They are killing civilians on the planet below. Millions of peaceful people are dying. We need help now." The message repeated. Jake could hear explosions in the background. He could hear aliens screaming. "Where is Kepler system?" Jake asked. Lieutenant Davis worked at his computer. "About 6 days from here at full speed. It is in the research zone. Mostly alien colonies there." Jake thought fast. His small patrol ship could not fight a whole enemy fleet, but he could not ignore a call for help either. That was not how humans did things. "Send this message to Earth Command right now," he told Davis. "Tell them we have a code red emergency. Civilians under attack. Request immediate assistance." "Yes, sir," Davis said. His fingers flew over the controls. Jake turned to his pilot. "Chief Martinez, set course for Kepler system. Full speed." "Sir, we are just one small ship. Martinez said. What can we do against a whole fleet? Jake smiled, but it was not a happy smile. We can get there first and see what we are dealing with. Send word to any other human ships in the area. Tell them to meet us there. On Earth, Admiral Karen Swift was in a meeting with other military leaders when the emergency message arrived. She was discussing budget cuts and peacekeeping duties. The war room was quiet and calm. Then her aide, Colonel Tony Blake, burst through the door. His face was red from running. Admiral, we have an emergency. Civilian attack in the Kepler system. Millions dead or dying. The room went silent. Admiral Swift stood up slowly. She was a small woman with gray hair, but her eyes were like steel. Show me everything. Colonel Blake played Dr. Harper's message. The room filled with the sound of explosions and screaming aliens. Every person in the room was a military veteran. They all knew what they were hearing. How many ships do we have? Ready for immediate departure? Admiral Swift asked. About 200 in Earth orbit, Colonel Blake said. Another 300 could be ready in 6 hours. The full fleet could be mobilized in 12 hours. Do it, Admiral Swift said. All of it, every ship we have. General Bob Crawford, head of Army Forces, looked worried. Admiral, we do not know who is attacking. This could be a trap. Maybe we should wait and gather more information. Admiral Swift turned to look at him. Her voice was cold. General, did you hear that message? Innocent people are dying right now. We do not wait when innocent people are dying. She turned to the room full of officers. I want every available ship loaded and ready to go in 4 hours. Contact the reserves. Contact the retired officers. Contact anyone who ever wore a uniform. We are going to war. The room exploded into activity. Officers ran to their posts. Communication systems lit up. Within minutes, emergency signals were going out to every human military base in known space. Colonel Amy Rodriguez was at her home on Mars when she got the call. She had retired from active duty 2 years ago. She was cooking dinner for her family when her old military communication device started beeping. She almost did not answer it. She was tired of military life. She wanted to spend time with her children. But something made her pick up the device. This is Admiral Swift. We have a code red emergency. Civilian populations under attack. We need every experienced officer back, in uniform immediately. Amy looked at her husband. He had been a soldier too. He nodded at her. Go, he said. You know you have to. Amy kissed her children goodbye. Mommy has to go help some people who are in trouble, she told them. An hour later, she was on a transport ship heading to Earth. The ship was full of other retired soldiers. Nobody talked much. They all knew what they were going to do. Commander Ryan Burke was already in space when the orders came. He commanded a small fleet of fast ships that patrolled the border regions. His ships were built for speed, not heavy fighting. Sir, we just got orders to proceed to Kepler system immediately, his communication officer reported. Emergency support. Mission. Ryan looked at his small fleet. 5 ships total, all lightly armed. How long to get there? 3 days if we push the engines hard. Then push them, Ryan said, and send a message to any merchant ships in the area. Tell them we might need their help. The response surprised him. Within an hour, dozens of merchant captains had volunteered their ships. They could not fight, but they could carry supplies and help rescue civilians. Captain Nicole Hayes was commanding the heavy battleship New York when the mobilization order came. Her ship was one of the most powerful in the human fleet. It had enough weapons to destroy a small moon. All hands prepare for immediate departure, she announced over the ship's speakers. We are going to help some people who cannot help themselves. Her crew moved like a machine. They had trained for this their whole careers, loading supplies, checking weapons, preparing for battle. The New York could carry 2,000 Marines and enough firepower to level a city. But Hayes was not thinking about destruction. She was thinking about protection. The difference was important. Back on Harmony Base, Dr. Lisa Harper was hiding in a damaged safe room with 12 other scientists. The station was mostly destroyed. Emergency power gave them just enough light to see each other. Any word from the rescue signal? Asked Zek. His blue skin was covered with dust and small cuts. Lisa checked her small communication device. It was barely working. Nothing yet. But it has only been 8 hours. Earth is far away. Dr. Keth, the tree-like alien, was taking care of injured scientists. His gentle hands were shaking. The attacks on the planet have not stopped. We can see the fires from here. Lisa looked out through a crack in the wall. The beautiful planet below was covered with smoke and fire. The enemy ships moved slowly over the surface, destroying everything they found. "Why are they doing this?" asked Finn. "We never hurt anyone. We only wanted to help people grow food." Lisa had been thinking about this question. She had studied the attacking ships through the station's damaged sensors. "I think they enjoy it. Some races think that being cruel makes them strong." The aliens looked at her with confusion. This was hard for them to understand. Their races had been peaceful for so long, they had forgotten that evil existed in the galaxy. "Do you really think humans will come?" Zek asked. Lisa thought about her home planet. She thought about human history, all the wars, all the fighting, all the times humans had died protecting people they did not even know. "Yes," she said, "they will come. Humans cannot ignore a call for help. It is not in their nature." "But there are so few human ships, Doctor," Keth said. "How can they fight a whole fleet?" Lisa smiled for the first time in hours. "You do not understand humans very well. When they fight to protect innocent people, they become something different, something dangerous." Another explosion shook what was left of the station. But Lisa was not afraid anymore. Somewhere in space, she knew that human ships were racing toward them. Human soldiers were loading weapons and preparing for battle. The attackers had made a terrible mistake. They had hurt innocent people within range of human hearing. Soon they would learn why that was a very bad idea. Commander Ryan Burke arrived at the edge of the Kepler system first. His small fleet of fast ships dropped out of hyperspace and immediately went silent. He did not want the enemy to see them coming. "What do the sensors show?" he asked his officer. Lieutenant Gary Mills worked at his computer for several minutes. His face got paler as he read the data. "Sir, there are 47 large warships in the system. They have formed blockades around 3 planets. I am also seeing hundreds of smaller attack ships." Ryan looked at the display screen. The enemy fleet was huge. Their ships were dark and ugly, built only for destruction. They moved in perfect formation around the planets like hungry sharks. "Any sign of our people on Harmony Base?" Ryan asked. "The station is badly damaged, but I am getting weak life signs. Some people are still alive there." Ryan felt anger building in his chest. These monsters had attacked a peaceful research station. They were killing innocent scientists who had never hurt anyone. "Send a coded message back to Admiral Swift," he said. "Tell her what we found. Then find us a good hiding spot. We wait for the main fleet." While Ryan's ships hid behind a small moon, Captain Jake Morrison was pushing his patrol ship as hard as it could go. His engines were running at dangerous levels, but he did not care. Every hour they delayed meant more innocent people would die. "Captain, we are getting messages from other human ships," Lieutenant Davis reported. "Looks like a lot of people are coming to help." Jake smiled. This was what he loved about being human. When someone called for help, everyone came running. "How many ships?" "At least 50 so far, sir. And that number keeps growing." Jake nodded. The enemy had made a big mistake. They had attacked defenseless people in range of human space. Now they would learn what happened when you made humans angry. On the planet below, the attacks continued. The enemy soldiers, called Vorthons, moved through the farming communities like a disease. They destroyed everything they found. Crops were burned, homes were smashed, and families were separated. In one small farming town, a group of alien children hid in a basement while Vorthon soldiers searched the houses above. The children were from different races, but they had all been friends. They had played together and learned together in the peaceful schools. Now they held each other and tried not to cry as they heard the soldiers breaking things upstairs. "Why? Are they doing this to us?" whispered a young Kepler girl named Mina. She was only 6 years old. An older boy named Jack, who was Trillarian like Zek, put his arm around her. "I do not know. But someone will come to help us. Someone always comes to help." He was trying to be brave, but he was scared too. These children had never seen war before. Their people had been peaceful for generations. Above them, the Vorthon, soldiers laughed as they destroyed family pictures and toys. They enjoyed causing pain and fear. It made them feel powerful. They did not know that their actions were being recorded by hidden sensors. They did not know that those recordings were being sent to human ships racing toward the system. They did not know that humans became most dangerous when children were threatened. Admiral Swift's main fleet arrived 12 hours later. Over 800 human ships dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. The fleet stretched for thousands of miles in every direction. The Vorthon commander, General Krex, was on the bridge of his flagship when his sensors detected the human fleet. He was a large, cruel creature with red eyes and sharp teeth. He had conquered dozens of peaceful worlds. "What is this?" he demanded. "I thought humans were weak. They barely have any military ships." His sensor officer, a smaller Vorthon named Vex, checked his readings again. "Sir, I count over 800 ships. They are all armed for heavy combat." General Krex laughed. 800 ships against my fleet of 2,000? They must be desperate. Send a message. Tell them to leave, or we will destroy them too." But Admiral Swift did not wait for messages. She had seen the recordings from the planet below. She had heard the screams of children hiding in basements. She had watched Vorthon soldiers burn hospitals and schools. "All ships, this is Admiral Swift," she said over the fleet communication system. "These monsters have attacked innocent civilians. They have hurt children. They think we will negotiate with them. They are wrong." The human fleet moved forward like an angry storm. The ships spread out in attack formation, each one targeting a different part of the Vorthon fleet. General Krex stopped laughing when he saw how fast the human ships moved. They did not form up in neat lines like most military fleets. They came from every direction at once like a pack of hunting animals. "All ships, prepare for battle," he ordered. "These humans will learn what happens when they face the Vorthon Collective." The first human ship to open fire was the battleship New York, commanded by Captain Nicole Hayes. Her ship targeted the Vorthon flagship with everything it had. Missiles and energy beams lit up the darkness of space. The Vorthon shields held, but just barely. General Krex felt his ship shake under the attack. "Return fire! Destroy that ship!" But Captain Hayes did not fight like most military commanders. She did not try to protect her ship or preserve her forces. She fought like someone who had seen innocent children hiding in fear. "All power to weapons," she ordered. "I do not care if our shields fail. I want that flagship destroyed." The New York charged straight at the enemy flagship. Vorthon ships fired everything they had at it, but Hayes did not slow down. Her ship took terrible damage, but it kept fighting. Lieutenant Commander Steve Parker led the first wave of human fighter ships. His squadron was small and fast, built for hit-and-run attacks. But Parker did not run. "All fighters follow me," he said over the radio. "We are going to punch a hole right through their lines." The human fighters dove into the middle of the Vorthon formation. They moved like angry wasps, striking fast and hard before spinning away to attack again. The Vorthon pilots had never seen anything like it. "These humans fight like madmen," one Vorthon pilot reported. "They do not care about their own safety." He was right. Human pilots were trained to be aggressive and take risks. They had learned these skills in hundreds of years of air combat on Earth. But now they had a reason to fight that went beyond training. They had seen the burning farms. They had heard the crying children. They fought not just with skill but with righteous anger. Colonel Amy Rodriguez watched the space battle from her transport ship. Her job was to wait until the fleet cleared a path, then lead ground forces to rescue the civilians on the planet below. "How long until we can begin the landing?" she asked her pilot. "At this rate, maybe 6 hours," he replied. "The space battle is going better than expected." Amy looked at the tactical display. Human ships were cutting through the Vorthon fleet like knives through paper. The enemy had more ships, but they fought like bullies who had never faced real resistance. "Make it 4 hours," she said. "Those people down there have suffered enough." On Harmony Base, Dr. Lisa Harper felt the station shake as the battle raged nearby. But this time the shaking felt different. It felt like hope. "The humans came," Zek said with wonder. You were right. They actually came. Lisa smiled through her tears. I told you. Humans cannot ignore a call for help. Through the damaged walls of the station, they could see flashes of light in space. Human ships were fighting with desperate courage against impossible odds, and somehow they were winning. The space battle raged for 6 hours. Human ships fought with a fury that shocked the Vorthan fleet. Captain Nicole Hayes had rammed her damaged battleship into the enemy flagship, causing both ships to explode in a ball of fire. General Krex was dead, and his fleet was falling apart. Admiral Swift stood on the bridge of her command ship, watching the tactical display. Half the Vorthan fleet was destroyed or running away. The other half was trapped near the planets, cut off from escape. Admiral, Colonel Rodriguez is requesting permission to begin the ground assault, her communication officer reported. Swift looked at the planet below. She could see the fires burning on the surface. Every minute they waited meant more innocent. People would die. Permission granted, she said. Tell her to get our people down there. Colonel Amy Rodriguez felt her stomach drop as the transport ship entered the planet's atmosphere. Around her, 200 human Marines checked their weapons and equipment. These soldiers had volunteered for the most dangerous job in the military, rescuing civilians from enemy territory. Listen up, Rodriguez told her troops. The enemy has been on this planet for 3 days. They have hurt a lot of innocent people. Our job is to find those people and get them to safety. Sergeant Mike Chen raised his hand. What about the enemy soldiers, Colonel? Rodriguez's face was hard as stone. Any Vorthan who surrenders will be taken prisoner. Any Vorthan who threatens, civilians will be stopped permanently. The Marines nodded. They understood. These were not normal combat rules. This was a rescue mission where failure meant innocent people would die. The first transport ships landed in a farming valley where most of the buildings were burned. Rodriguez and her Marines spread out quickly, moving from house to house. They found bodies, but they also found survivors. In the basement of a destroyed school, Sergeant Chen discovered 30 alien children huddled together in the dark. They were hungry and scared, but alive. It is okay, Chen said softly. He had children of his own back on Earth. We are here to help you. You are safe now. The children looked at him with wide eyes. They had never seen a human before. Chen was tall and strong with weapons and armor that made him look dangerous. But his voice was gentle. A young Kepler girl named Mina stepped forward. Are you the ones who came to help us? Yes, Chen said. We got your message. We came as fast as we could. The children started crying, but now they were tears of relief. Chen called for medical help and food. Within minutes, human doctors were treating injured children while other Marines stood guard. Meanwhile, Major Dan Foster led a special team deep into enemy territory. Their job was to find and rescue civilians who were trapped behind Vorthan lines. Foster's team moved through the forests like ghosts, avoiding enemy patrols. They found a Vorthan prison camp hidden in the mountains. Through his binoculars, Foster could see hundreds of alien prisoners working in the hot sun. Vorthan guards beat anyone who moved too slowly. How many guards? Asked Staff Sergeant Linda West. I count 20, Foster replied. They are not expecting trouble. Foster's team had only 8 people, but they were human special forces. They had trained for situations like this their entire careers. More importantly, they had seen what the Vorthans did to innocent people. The attack came at dawn. Human soldiers moved through the camp like deadly shadows. The Vorthan guards never knew what hit them. In less than 10 minutes, the camp was secure. The alien prisoners could not believe they were free. Many of them were too weak to walk. Human medics worked frantically to save lives while other soldiers prepared the prisoners for evacuation, and a old Trilarian farmer named Beck grabbed Foster's arm. Thank you, he said in broken English. They said no one would come. They said no one cared about us. Foster looked at the bruises on the old alien's face. Someone always cares, he said. You just have to know where to look. In space, the battle was turning into a complete human victory. Commander Ryan Burke's fast ships hunted down fleeing Vorthon vessels. The enemy ships were built for attacking defenseless targets, not for fighting real soldiers. Sir, we have 12 enemy ships trying to escape through the outer system, Lieutenant Mills reported. Not today, Burke said. All ships pursue and engage. None of them leave this system. The human ships moved like hunting wolves, surrounding the fleeing Vorthons. The enemy tried to surrender, but Burke remembered the burning schools and the crying children. Did they show mercy to those farmers, he asked his crew? Did they accept surrender from 6-year-old children? The human ships opened fire. The fleeing Vorthons were destroyed one by one. Back on the planet, Colonel Rodriguez received reports from all over the surface. Human troops were winning every battle they fought. The Vorthons had never faced soldiers who fought with such determination. Colonel, we found something you need to see, radioed Captain Joe Martinez from the capital city. Rodriguez flew there in a fast transport. Martinez led her to a large building in the center of the city. Inside, she found records of everything the Vorthons had done. Lists of murdered families, plans to enslave entire populations, orders to kill anyone who resisted. They were not just attacking randomly, Martinez said. This was planned genocide. They wanted to wipe out every intelligent species on this planet. Rodriguez felt sick reading the reports. But she also felt something else. Satisfaction. The Vorthons had revealed their true nature. Now the galaxy would see what they really were. In another part of the city, human Marines were liberating the main prison facility. This was where the Vorthons kept important prisoners for special treatment. The conditions were horrible. Sergeant First Class Carol Davis found Dr. Lisa Harper in a small cell. The human scientist was badly hurt, but still alive. She had been beaten for refusing to help the Vorthons with their research. Dr. Harper, I am Sergeant Davis, Earth Defense Corps. We got your message. Lisa looked up with tears in her eyes. You came. I knew you would come. Yes, ma'am. We are getting you out of here. As Davis helped Lisa to the medical station, she saw other human soldiers treating alien prisoners with gentle care. These same soldiers had been killing Vorthons with cold efficiency just hours ago, but they could switch from warrior to protector in an instant. It was something that confused many alien species. How could humans be so violent in battle, yet so caring with civilians? The answer was simple. Humans fought hardest when they were protecting something they loved. The final Vorthon stronghold was a fortress built into the side of a mountain. Inside were the last 500 enemy soldiers and their commanding officers. They had taken alien hostages and were threatening to kill them if the humans attacked. Colonel Rodriguez studied the fortress through her binoculars. How do we get in without getting the hostages killed? Major Foster had an idea. We do not attack the fortress, he said. We go under it. The plan was crazy and dangerous. Foster's team would crawl through old mining tunnels that ran under the mountain. They would emerge inside the fortress and rescue the hostages while Rodriguez's main force attacked from outside. It took 12 hours of crawling through dark, narrow tunnels. Foster's team emerged in the basement of the fortress, covered in dirt and exhausted. But they were inside enemy territory. Moving silently through the corridors, they found the hostages locked in a large room. 50 alien families, including many children, were guarded by only 2 Vorthon soldiers. The guards died before they could raise an alarm. Foster's team quickly freed the hostages and led them back through the tunnels to safety. With the hostages rescued, Rodriguez ordered the final attack on the fortress. Human artillery pounded the mountain stronghold while aircraft dropped bombs on the walls. The remaining Vorthons surrendered after 2 hours of bombardment. The war was over. In less than 3 days, human forces had completely destroyed a fleet that had conquered dozens of worlds. The Vorthon Collective's reign of terror in this sector was finished, but for the humans, the real work was just beginning. Now they had to heal the wounds and help rebuild what had been destroyed.